I'm Jacob from the Students Book Library, and today I'm going to be teaching you a handful of recipes that you can make without dirtying lots of pots and pans. Why? Because maybe you don't want to spend an extended period of time in front of a burner. Maybe you want something easy so you can relax. Maybe you just want something quick. Maybe all three. With some sacrifices, all of these things are possible. So, I thought today I would explore some recipes that only require you to mix some stuff into a cup and then cook it in the microwave for a bit. Perhaps more exciting is that these are basic enough you can easily tailor them to your own preferences, or just whatever you have in the fridge. For our first recipe, we're going to be trying a cup of French toast. In order to do that, we are going to need everything you normally need to make it on a stovetop. Some bread, milk, an egg, butter, spices, of course, and also, even more of course, maple syrup. First, we're going to take our butter and put it into the microwave for about 20 seconds. After that, we are going to add our milk, maple syrup, cinnamon, vanilla extract, and a pinch of nutmeg. Finally, we're going to add one large egg, and then whisk until combined. Then we are going to take a cup of bread pieces and carefully mix them together and let them sit for about a minute so all of our milk-egg mixture can be absorbed. After that, we're going to microwave it for about 60 to 90 seconds. I put it in for a total of 80 seconds, mainly because after 60 it looked a little too wet to be considered French toast. The timing is really going to depend on what kind of microwave you have. From there, feel free to add any toppings you'd like. I'm partial to blueberries and walnuts. And then it's ready to eat. And the flavor is not bad. If you like stuff that's a bit sweeter, you can just add a bit more maple syrup. It's simple, adaptable, and doesn't taste half bad for less than 5 minutes work. Next, we're going to jump over to something a little more savory and try a cup of pizza, which will entail all the usual stuff you need to make pizza. You know, the stuff like the dough, sauce, seasoning, and of course, our cheese and our favorite toppings. First, we're going to add together our flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and whatever sort of Italian seasonings you have hanging around the house. Then we are going to mix it together until all of our dry goods are combined. Next, we are going to add the milk and stir until there are no major clumps. From there, we're going to do our best to flatten our dough before adding our pizza sauce. Next, we're going to add our preferred toppings. I choose some sliced pepperoni and onion. And then finally, we get to add our cheese. After that, it's a simple 80 seconds until everything is cooked. Once again, this largely depends on the wattage of your microwave, so I would start at 60 seconds and go in 10-second intervals after that. And now we have a pizza that resembles more of a volcano than an actual pizza. And it shows in how dominant the dough's flavor is as opposed to pretty much everything else. If I were to make this next time, I would definitely cut the dough ingredients by half, and then reduce the microwave time accordingly, as it is my sincerest belief that all pizza crust serves the toppings. Now we are going to move on to our cup of macaroni and cheese, which, much like our pizza cup, is going to involve pretty much everything we need to make macaroni and cheese normally, just in smaller portions, and also with the chance to not only flavor it with whatever cheese we want, but also with any vegetables, meats, or spices we might like as well. To start off, all we have to do is combine our pasta, water, and salt into a cup. Then we're going to cook it for about 6 minutes, making sure to stir it after every 2. Depending on the type of pasta you're using, you may have to add a couple tablespoons of water somewhere through the process. Once our macaroni is cooked, we're going to mix in whatever other things we want in our pasta. In this case, I chose onion, spinach, and bacon. After that, we're going to add our milk, and then most importantly, our cheese. After we stir everything together, we're going to microwave it in 30-second intervals until our cheese is melted. And after trying it, I have to say, this recipe tastes the best so far. That being said, it also requires the most care, as too much or too little liquid at any part of the process could make the pasta too chewy or the sauce too watery. However, with a little patience and the right ingredients, there is a chance to make something that hits the perfect mix between quick and tasty. After all that savory, I think we once again need to try something sweet. So we're going to try our hand at a cup of chocolate chip cookie. This is going to involve the usual flour and egg stuff, required to make a dough, but also not only one, but 2 types of sugar. First, we are going to lightly cover our cup in a layer of cooking spray in order to keep our hypothetical cookie from sticking. Next, we're going to add our unmelted butter, egg yolk, our white and then light brown sugars, and then just a pinch of salt. From there, we're going to mix it all until it is combined before then slowly adding in our flour to avoid making anything overly crumbly. And then finally, we add our chocolate chips. Once it is pressed down to look like something that could potentially eventually be a cookie, we're going to microwave it anywhere between 50 to 70 seconds, depending on the wattage of your microwave. By the end, it should look light and yellow and bounce back slightly when you poke it. In terms of texture, it's a bit crumbly, but still a sweet and distinctly warm chocolate chip cookie that, as with most desserts, would pair very well with a scoop of ice cream on top of it. Or I suppose you could just eat the ice cream from a mug. Heck, maybe spare yourself a dirty mug and just eat the ice cream out of the container. Or don't. Maybe just don't tell Mom.